Hi, my name is Michael and welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about Shooting Down Heaven by Jorge Franco, and this is translated by Andrea Rosenberg, and this is from Europa Editions. I feel like I need to do more reviews because that's what I'm interested in, that's what I like to see, and I thought this one might be an interesting one to talk about because it's a book from Colombia, and basically it's a book that deals with family tragedy. So the basic premise of this is it follows this man whose name is Larry, and he's coming back to grieve his father, and it's told in different times, but the two main ones are the time where his father disappears, and looking at how that affects his family, and then the other major one is where they find his body in a mass grave, and he's returning home to claim the body and deal with that. His father was a high-ranking official in the Pablo Escobar cartel, and it kind of looks at that as well. So it's a kind of like a family tragedy, but also dealing with the cartel influences on the family and the cartel influences on Colombia. But I feel like it was trying to do a little too much, and that became a bit of a problem. I was fascinated by this idea of dealing with family tragedy, this idea of going from riches to ruins, where his father was so high up in the cartel, they had a nice house, nice things, bodyguards and all that, and then him disappearing because Pablo Escobar was feeling a bit self-conscious, a bit worried about his officers, his generals, and killing them off. I felt like there was so much there, but then Jorge Franco was doing more than that, and I feel like he was trying to do a lot probably too much, and that's not bad. It's just not what I wanted. I feel like this makes it a light, fun read. Fun being probably the wrong word. It's tragic, but it's easy entertainment. But for me, I like this idea of dealing with loss and dealing with the tragedy and how it affects the family, and exploring all those emotions, and putting that added layer of the cartel and how it affected the family as well fascinated me. But because it didn't explore that the way I was hoping, it made the book feel a little cold in the process of dealing with grief and dealing with the family issues. And it's not really a problem with the writer or the book, it's just my expectations were very different to what I got from the book. And because it was taking this more adventure action type Narcos TV show type approach, where it was more about exploring all these different things and trying to keep the reader entertained, I felt like it lost its momentum, it lost its thrill for me, it lost perspective. And like halfway through the book, as I get into the point where it's like I'm ready to be over this book, I'm ready to move on because it's not going the direction I wanted to go. And I think that's probably harsh for me to judge a book that way, but when we read books, we get these ideas that we want to see play out, and for me, it didn't play out in this book. And the other thing is, Jorge Franco is not a writer, he's a filmmaker, and you can see that play out in the book. There's something about the way he writes where it feels like he's setting up a TV show or a movie where he's explaining all the details. Stuff that's not really necessary in a book, like trying to add subplots that you don't really need, like a love triangle or a best friend that's going to probably corrupt the main character. Things like this that don't need to happen in a book, but feel like that they would help push along a movie or a TV show. And apparently this is going to be turned into a TV show, and he's currently developed this into a TV show, but he's just trying to see if it'll get picked up. And I kind of feel like that kind of is obvious when reading this, and I feel like I wanted more, and that's basically what I keep saying over and over again. And while this is probably a good place to start if you want to read some Colombian literature, especially one that explores the Pablo Escobar cartel, then this is probably a good starting point. But for me, I would recommend something else. I would recommend The Sound of Things Falling by Juan Gabriel Vargas, and that was translated by Anne McLean, because I feel like it deals with a similar issue of the effect of the cartel, but it does it in a better way. It does it in the way that I wanted, where it was like looking at how it affected Colombia and how it affected a family, and it focused a lot on that rather than trying to make this fast-paced action adventure type book. So for me, not quite what I wanted. I wanted something a little darker. I wanted to reflect on the grieving process. I wanted to explore that more. But this is not what this book is, and this is not what the book was trying to do. But if this sounds like something you would like to check out, then I do recommend trying it, because there is a lot to offer, and it's probably a good way to start exploring a country like Colombia and its literature, because I feel like it's a fascinating topic, especially the lasting effects that Escobar had on the whole country. There's so much there that I'd want to learn about and I'd want to read about. So that's just a quick review on this book. If it's something you're interested in, to check it out. But I hope to come back with more reviews. I feel like reviews are what I want to see on my channel, what I want to work on and what I want to improve. So I need to focus more on doing those. If you want to find me elsewhere, all my links to social media are in the description below. Please leave a comment if this is a book that interests you or want to talk about translated literature. And as always, thank you for watching.